Said I don't know where I'm going, but I'm moving to her beat. She got that thing that keeps growing. She got me stuck on repeat. She got me losing my mind every day of the week.
Hey, yo! Ladies and gentlemen, I said, hey, yo! How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. Welcome on into the band fam. My name is Percussive173. And today we have a very, very, very special episode of the PSP Podcast. We'll be talking a little bit more about that, like, in just a little bit. I know we're going to be having Shorty Pie join us in a couple minutes. And I'm really excited to have a discussion on IRL content in, like, streaming and stuff like that. I actually met her through DreamHack, believe it or not. I met Shorty. I actually didn't know who Shorty was. Funny enough, like, I actually first heard about Shorty Pie back when Erect Dictator, who was on the podcast yesterday, also shout out to Erect Dictator. She did a phenomenal job on the PSP Podcast. It was a banger of an episode. I had so much fun talking to Meg, and she's an absolutely incredible human being. So I am very, very blessed to have been able to have the honor to speak with her directly, like, and on the PSP Podcast. So that was fun. But anyways, I didn't know who Shorty Pie was until I saw a collab stream with her, Erect Dictator, and Strangely Lex. So I'm very excited to have Shorty join the PSP Podcast today. She'll be joining very shortly. When she does join, we'll get the intro video started. We'll get everything going, and we'll get down to, like, to the whole podcast. So we have a lot of things in store in regards to the PSP Podcast. I have a ton of irons in the fire with different creators. And here's the mentality behind the PSP Podcast, like the story behind it, right? So the PSP Podcast is meant to spread positivity and just good vibes all the way around. Hold on one sec. Podcast VC. It's meant to educate newer creators. Let me do one of these real quick. Edit invite link, generate new link, copy, and then hello. How we doing? They can't hear you yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and play an introduction video. Are you able to turn on your camera for the podcast? Okay, sweet. Yeah, because I do everything from video from theirs, and it's gonna be really awesome. But sweet, no problem. All right, so the PSP Podcast originated back when I was like, you know what? There's so many things that happen behind the scenes in the world of content, right? There's so many things that happen, and, like, we have no idea like how things really run. So I wanted to bring in the best of the best to help teach me, to help teach you, to help teach everybody about the world of content. And that's the whole positivity, positive vibe thing that I have and that we're going to be going through here. And I could not be more excited to have Shorty Pie join us. It's going to be really, really cool. But yeah, super excited. Like we're kind of getting things situated within the Discord, but we're going to get started momentarily. So just a heads up. Hi, SO. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the introduction video, introduce you, and then we're good to go. Sweet. Alrighty, I'll actually get started now then, if you're ready. Sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna make this happen. Waiting on my recording to start. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's roll it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to the PSP Podcast, featuring your friendly host, Percussive 173. Let's freaking go! I downed him! Oh, I got it! 508 meters! I'm pushing everything right now. Against the Lockman. Dude, this Lockman is so good! Oh my god, I'm disgusting! So what do you think about that play, huh? What were your thoughts?
Not very smart, man. Not very smart, man.
It happens, man. Hey, well, come back. It happens. Shit. I guess I'm just gonna shit on him. He's dead. Did I just ace? I just ace. Let's go.
Just take a funky jazz with him.
Easy triple. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to have you be a part of the PSP Podcast. And I'm your friendly host, Percussive 173, and let's have a freaking party. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. My name is Percussive 173, and welcome everybody on into the PSP Podcast. PSP stands for Perk Spreads Positivity, because around here, it's all about good vibes. It's all about real talk. It's all about helping creators, new creators, aspiring creators like you, shine and be amazing. The PSP Podcast is about uplifting, celebrating content creators who are doing everything in their power to be amazing and just to be awesome, to be able to develop their brand and develop things. Heard that. And we respect people for who they are in the streaming space. And today I have somebody really special joining me, and the creator that we have is well known in the space, respected for their authenticity, somebody who has really made an awesome name for themselves, keeping it real inside of the IRL community. And I'm talking about Shorty Pie here. We're diving into the world of content, what it means to bring your real life streams into the world, and how to stay connected with your audience in the most human possible way. And I'm more than excited to bring her on and have a conversation. So without further ado here, why don't we say hello to Shorty Pie? How are you? Welcome on into the PSP Podcast. Yeah, I'm excited to have you on too. We're actually talking about something that I genuinely have no idea about. I have no clue anything about IRL content. I think I tried it one time when I was at a LAN event. So
You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
yeah, I would love to hear your opinion on IRL
You're
content.
my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
We'll be silly little people on stream. Like in the grand scheme of things, we are all just animals, right? And us silly little humans are just silly little animals just bit bopping around. And I love to watch other people. I came from the era of YouTube. So like I would watch family vlog channels. I would watch vloggers. This is the new vlog. It's basically, yeah, everything is reality TV right now. We do
Mhm.
absolutely love a good, like, if there's drama, people love that. They eat that up. And then if you make it live
You're
and it's
my
an
friend now.
actual
We're
reality, 'cause
having
we're so
soft
used to
tacos
reality
later.
TV nowadays that's all scripted and has like, a run of show and stuff like that. But IRL streaming is just, you're just going out and whatever happens, happens basically. I love doing it because it helps me to get out more. I have done streaming for so long, just sitting on my butt, just playing games for years and years and years. So it's a great different vibe from what I'm used to personally now.
And IRL
Yeah,
content
that's
is
it.
IRL content is making an emergence in the streaming space, like in a crazy amount. There's so many different
Oh
people
yeah.
who have been like kind of joining in on IRL content and like trying to do things IRL because a lot of people really feel a cool connection between like the streamer themselves and IRL content. And that's what I think is really
Right.
cool.
hmm
So what made you want to actually start streaming? And what's up with the name Shorty Pie?
So I started streaming back in like probably 2019, 2018-ish. I was in college, and I had done graphic design actually for 3 years
Ooh,
prior to
graphic
starting to
design.
stream. I was one of those designers that would hit you up and be like, "Hey, do you want graphics? These are my prices." And I would send them to you. And then I would do like headers and full revamps for people. This was back when people used full overlays and they had everything on. They had like
Mhm.
a donation thing. And, I would go and make those. That was what I did. And I didn't have a streaming PC at the time. So I would just make stuff off of like my laptop at the time was like an HP laptop. And then I got a MacBook Pro for school.
W
So
MacBooks.
yes, I
Big
love my
fan of
MacBook from
MacBooks.
school. Especially for graphic design, editing, and stuff. Like Adobe products on MacBooks just hit different. They do.
Yes, they
I don't
do.
care what anybody says. It's just different. But yeah, I was doing graphic design and stuff like that. And then I always felt like I wanted to do a little bit more because I have kind of a personality that I love to talk. And I'll talk your ear off. So,
W.
and then an ex-boyfriend at the time was like, "God, you should start streaming because you just don't shut up." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you're right. I should do that." So he was kind enough to let me use his PC and I started streaming before his streams. So he would let me do like an hour or two a day. And I had already had a community from designing. So I kind of went into it with a little bit of a cushion already built up. And I started growing my community there. Back then it was Shorty Designs. Shorty Designs 21. That was her. Numbers in
Hell
the
yeah.
name and all. It's just horrible. But at the
Hey,
time,
it's
I
still a
thought
good
I was
name.
like, I was balling at the time.
Mhm.
But anyway, decided to switch over to streaming full time. Had an immense amount of support because I played Fortnite mainly. And at the time, this was when Fortnite was at its like peak time, like fresh out of season 2, like very, very, very early on Fortnite. So I had a great time. I played that almost competitively, and then Valorant dropped. And that was when I got into competitive gaming. Like I fell in love, and I still love Valorant. I can't play it today because it gets me so angry. But I
I'm so bad at
love,
Valorant.
love.
Just
Oh, it's truly like I say it's like the game that made me because I truly saw an immense growth because I played Valorant for 3 years straight. And I met some of my closest friends in Valorant. Like I truly just like I met Riot devs. Like the space is so interconnected, especially in the Riot game. I don't know what kind of they foster such a community over at Riot, and like truly it was one of the games that gave me my start. But yeah, I played competitively in Valorant for a long time. um, Played in tournaments, did scrims, and then I realized one day that I hated not being able to talk to my chat because when you're locked in a competitive match for 8 hours a day, you're not really helping yourself. And I wasn't going pro anytime soon. So
mhm.
I needed to realize I needed to look a hard mirror, like look at the mirror hard at myself and be like, listen, this isn't going to make me any money. I need to figure out a life plan here and like see what kind of like where I want to go with it. So I decided one day that I'm gonna just start doing variety again. And, numbers dipped, came back. And, Twitch, it's always up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 5 years into streaming, Kick came out. And I was like, oh, what is this? And, at first, Kick was like, that's where the bad streamers go. That's where all the bad streamers go.
They had a whole mantra there. They had a whole mantra when they first came out.
For a long time. When they first came out, it was like a whole thing. But I wanted my actual app. I fought tooth and nail. I just never partnered on Twitch. Even with like hundreds of viewers, they never partnered me. I have no idea why. So I could never get my actual app. It was always Shorty PLE. I told myself, on this new platform, I'm getting Shorty Pie. So I went and I got my name and I reserved it. And I was like, you know what? What's the harm in streaming like once or twice after Twitch? Or like, because I didn't know what multi-streaming was at the time, really that much. And I couldn't do it. My old PC was a potato, so I couldn't handle it. So I was like, I'm just going to stream. And I get off of my Twitch stream. My Kick stream is going to be my after dark hour, where I just like, we say whatever we want. It's going to be, whatever.
You could get away with that there too.
And it was great. I will say, my second Kick stream, I had 2 staff members come in and say, welcome to Kick. Like, we're so happy you're here. In 5 years of streaming on Twitch, I never had a staff member come into my stream, aside from laughing at me because I had Kick in my name, or in my title. I said Kick stream later. And they came in and they're like, LOL, Kick stream later. That was the only time I've ever spoken to a Twitch dev in my chat. And I was like, wow, that's what it took? 5 years. That's what it took. And that was a big turning point for me. Because I was like, these devs are coming into these admins are coming in and saying welcome and are so kind and sweet. And I have Twitch admins talking shit to me in my chat, like, because I have Kick in my title. Like, that's so embarrassing. And
it
finally,
definitely is.
Yeah, it was so surprising. I was a hardcore Twitch. I was a stan. Like, truly, I was like, I will never, ever, ever leave Twitch. Like, I've built a platform there. And then I just realized one day I was like, they don't care about me over there. And I have people that care about me over here. So, you know what? Here we are. And after switching over for a good 2 months, Santa Maria reached out about the phase 3. So they brought me on as a phase 3 partner, one of the first to have KCIP as well, which was, I feel like I'm growing with the website, and it's something that I really hold dear. I love supporting brands that support you back, like Power IRL. We were talking about IRL streaming. They're brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Lex, and Meg started with them, brand new from the bottom up, and we're all growing together. And it's been really, really great. I really do appreciate a company that has people that care behind them.
And that's honestly like really awesome to see. And like, also, he's Carbon. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But
you.
Like, it's really cool to see the way Kick kind of immersed themselves into the streaming space in the manner of which they did. And like, I know there was a lot of drama with the Twitch platform and like kind of how they were running things. So things kind of stagnated on that side. But Kick took that to their advantage, and they really cared about the streamers. I started seeing them saying streaming, like their streamers first, and that's really cool. My backstory kind of is like, I love content in general. I have a passion for content, and like, I just like content in general. I like creating it. I like talking about it. I like watching it. I like consuming it. And like, to be honest, I actually didn't even know who you were until like the one collab stream with you, Meg, and Strangely Lex, when you guys were cooking. I actually didn't even know who you were. I don't think I even followed you until then. And then we met at DreamHack, and I'm like, oh, dude, you're dope. You're actually really cool. You're actually really chill. So,
thank you.
Yeah, of course. And like, the genuineness of streamers in this space are like really cool to see. And like, I know Kick had such a bad rep in the beginning, but like the streamers that were on that platform really helped create a name for Kick as a whole, and even push that back over to the Twitch side. And I think that's so cool. So I know we're talking today.
I have to...
Oh, go ahead.
oops, sorry. I have to agree. Like I will say, I've said this a few times on stream. Like the cake streamers that I've made friends with are more true friends than I ever had on Twitch, and it's crazy because you'd think, oh, this is such a scary platform. We don't know the future. Blah blah blah. Whatever. They've
Hmm.
been so good to me, and everybody that's come over here has been so genuine to me. It's great. Like my community and like going to DreamHacks and stuff just reaffirm how much fun. I never had fun at a TwitchCon. I have so much fun at DreamHacks. So much fun. All my friends are there. So it's such a cool feeling.
It really is. Oh, and I know some people are messaging me about the alerts that I have. I've tried turning them off. It won't stop. I've tried everything. OBS put like whatever this weird plugin into the alerts, and like I don't know how to turn it off. I've tried everything. I turned it off on my streaming PC. I shouldn't have any sound alerts on, but that's a whole other thing. Like when you're a streamer,
That's okay.
you deal with tech issues all the time. Like whether you expect them or whether like you don't, like these tech issues will always come out even if you put 1.5 million hours into preparation for the stream. And I think that's one of the cool parts about being a streamer is like it's not about like
Mhm.
the tech issues that happen, it's about how you adapt to them. And I know when we talk about
Absolutely.
tech, the IRL tech that I want to talk about, you mentioned Power IRL. Um,
Mhm.
for somebody who's aspiring to go into IRL content creation, what do you recommend? Do you recommend specific mics? Do you recommend specific pieces? Like I know you
I'm
probably
still
could talk about this
figuring
for an
that
hour.
out.
Sure.
I'm still figuring this out. I'll be so honest. My goal is to get a whole nother stream phone and then also have new microphones. So I'm rocking my Rode 2s right now, but I would love to upgrade to the DJIs, the new DJI Minis. They're
Ooh, those are
amazing.
good. They're so
Meg
good.
has them. They're so good and they're small and they're magnetic, so I can put them anywhere on my clothing without it snagging. I don't need it up on my collarbone. Um, I wear a lot of like higher up collars, so it's like right on my neck, and it gets so old being on my neck. So I would love to do that. I think IRL streaming is one of the most it it's as far as you want to take it. So it's investing in yourself as a company. It's investing in yourself to see where like what quality content you want to put out. I right now, so you don't need something any super fancy. You don't need a brand new phone. I use an iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's my baby. I love my phone. I don't want to upgrade, but I love my phone. I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and that's what I use. It's my real phone. I use it for, everyday stuff. I don't have an extra one. My goal in the future is to get a different phone. That way I can, if I have an emergency or I need to text somebody, I do have that as an option. We're really pushing for higher production value for our next couple streams. We're going to be starting to have cameramen, which is a crazy thing. You wouldn't think you really need that for an IRL stream because you can just walk around with a tripod and that's good enough. Like truly, you don't need a cameraman. But with what we want to do, we have so many ideas. I'm not sure if Meg talked to you about some of our ideas that we have
Kind
with
of, but
our
not like
camping.
specific.
We have a lot of stuff coming. We're doing an Airbnb here soon with each other. We're going to test that out and see how that goes. And then
W.
we're also going to do an IRL survivor camping stream. And
Ooh.
we're going to have full production. Hopefully they don't mind me yapping about this, but we're going to have full production. We're going to have cameramen following us around. It's going to be so fun. It's just 3 girls trying to survive in the wilderness, and we're going to bring chat along with it. But with that, that takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. We're going to have to get, Starlinks and like stuff that's going to help us out in the wilderness, because that's a huge thing with IRL streaming is going down. The
Yes.
big thing with us in Power IRL, they host an SRT server for us. So if our streams do go down, say like it doesn't boot us offline over and over, and we have to re-go live over and over, so you guys aren't getting spammed with live messages and stuff. Instead, they just play old clips from our channels. And it's great because so it keeps people engaged, it keeps people there, but it lets them know, hey, there's low bit rate right now. It's gonna come back. Just wait a second.
That's
Yeah,
actually
it's
really
awesome.
dope. That's phenomenal technology. I'd love to talk with some of
Mhm.
the people from Power IRL to kind of see how they come up with that, cuz so I'm a tech nerd.
100%.
I'm a
Mhm.
massive tech nerd. Like everything that I do, I work in and I work on computers on a day-to-day basis. Um, and I'm still learning about the world of streaming content and like in tech from that because it's vast. Like from
Right.
the handheld camera changing devices to Lumia Stream to the different alert bots, different metric system, different web plugins, different web hooks and stuff like that. Like could
Mhm.
probably talk about streaming stuff like forever. Like but
Right.
I'd love to learn a little bit about how like they do some of that stuff on the backside because I feel like that's just so cool. But also,
Yeah.
I love DJI and Rode mics. I'm actually trying to get
Uh,
one of those for Atlanta because I'm planning on going to DreamHack Atlanta
yeah.
because that's actually a
Yeah.
really quick trip for me.
I love DJI. I just wish that they weren't so crazy expensive, but you're paying for the quality that you're getting.
Yes,
So that's how I see it is DJI stuff is expensive. It's a price point. It's an investment for your business, but it's an investment that you're going to use every week. And if you do IRL streams daily, every single day, and you want to invest, you want to make sure, especially with audio stuff and streaming, like there's certain things you just can't get away from. Good video
absolutely.
quality and good audio. And if you don't have those, a lot of people won't watch you. And that's just the harsh reality of it. Nobody wants to watch an 8-bit streamer, unfortunately, right now. And nobody, especially doing IRL stuff. But
I I've said it
yeah,
before.
love,
It's
love, love DJI.
a lot of people. Unfortunate truth of streaming here. A lot of people don't care about the back end stuff that we do, which is a lot. Like
Hmm.
95% of the stuff that we do is offline in the back end. Like no one really talks about that from
Yeah,
a streaming perspective. But a lot of people just
I
don't
would,
care about that.
yeah.
They care about the production. They care about the end results.
I would say in content creation in general, a lot of people don't see 95% of the work that streamers and like content creators put in because you're not seeing the hours offline editing. You're not seeing the
Oh
hours
yeah,
offline making sure alerts are working. You're not seeing people build their scenes. You're not seeing so many different parts of streaming. Like you just see the fun part. And that's
exactly.
great. And that's what we want you to see. We want you to see us having fun because nobody wants to watch
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's miserable.
Truth.
But the moment I have an audio problem, or the moment that my something's not working, something's not connecting, there's no input. Oh, that is like the one demon in me that comes out, and I am just the worst person in the world when that comes out. That demon just comes out of me, and then I have to summon all of my tech nerds from my Discord and say, guys, help. I don't know what I'm doing because I am not a tech nerd. I don't know what the hell I'm doing 95% of the time, but I
Do
have
we ever
learned
though?
a lot. You kind of have to learn as a streamer. Like
Yes.
you need to learn to adapt, especially because it will go wrong at the worst time. Do not expect shit to work. Don't go live. Don't just turn your PC on and be like, I'm gonna go live at this time. No, turn it on like 30 minutes beforehand and make sure that your shit's right, or else it's gonna be wrong. I'm telling you
You
from
can actually
experience.
you can ask Meg yesterday and today too. Like you probably saw me in the cord. I'm sitting in the podcast channel making sure everything's working. I'm 2 hours ahead of time. Like, and that's just
Hmm.
making sure things are working. And still, even through the production phase, I had a minor audio issue in the beginning, but I ended up fixing that immediately. But it's really interesting to see um how streamers handle adversity and like for new aspiring content creators that are looking into this, what's your message to them when they're looking at the adversity that comes with tech issues and that just comes with streaming in general?
Oh gosh. My biggest advice to any streamer, especially when like if shit's getting you down, don't tweet about it. Don't, you
Agreed.
can tweet about like silly, goofy stuff like, oh, I'm having tech issues or today's been rough. But don't bring drama to your other socials. I'm telling you,
Bingo.
as somebody from experience, it's going to make you look bad no matter how you phrase it. You can definitely say, "Oh, I'm having a rough day." I wish I like, my tweets when I'm having a rough day, I'm like, "Send me pictures of your dogs because that's going to make me feel better." But bringing stuff online is the worst thing you can do. Don't get involved with all of the bullshit drama you see on Twitter. It's not worth it. And these people aren't going to remember that you commented on their thing from 4 years ago. It's
I
just like,
actually saw a whole bunch of Twitter drama like yesterday or a couple days ago,
my gosh,
and I
it's
just said I'm
never
just
ending.
sitting here in my corner with a little picture of Elmo in a high chair dancing. I'm like sitting here in my corner editing videos.
Exactly.
Because you just
And
gotta have
if
fun.
if it doesn't involve you, don't involve yourself. That's my
Bingo.
biggest thing. Stay away from all that. There's no reason to get involved. So that's a big thing. And then just, I would say my only other piece of advice is just enjoy it. This is such a fun thing to be able to do. And as many times as I'm sick of my stream forcing me to stay live for 24 hours, or as much as I get over playing the same game where I get annoyed over and over, it truly is a blessing to have this as a job, and just in general being able to do this hobby is so fun, and so many people would kill to do it. So I just
And
try
I
to
have an
remind
absolute
myself every
blast
day
doing
that
it.
it's just so much fun. It really
It
is. You
is.
have I get to hang out with my friends for a job. Is that not crazy? Like, that's my job, is I play and hang out with my friends. So
It's the best. Like, honestly, like, people forget there's so many difficulties in regards to like to the lifestyle of being a content creator, and there's so much stuff that people don't see in like the back end, but there's so much good that outweighs like all like the negative stuff that you see. It's
100%.
like you create a community, you're creating a like a whole culture, a persona and an identity, and being able to talk to these people like on a day-to-day basis and become like friends with them. It's just such a
Mhm.
great honor and cool thing to see. And me, I love seeing people passionate about things. Like I love having podcasts because you're passionate about streaming and I'm passionate about
Mhm.
content, and we can bounce these things off of each other, and it's just cool to see like people's eyes and just
Right.
boom, just light up. Because
Mhm.
there's like, and when it comes to like the human side of things, because we talk about all the stuff that happens on the side, like how do you handle like the mental health aspect? Because I'm a big mental health advocate, because it definitely is
Mhm.
taxing with everything that happens.
Yeah. I would say streaming live can be lonely for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I am one person, like, I got really my good start during COVID. So like I was constantly streaming. And then over the years, through different things that popped up, different trials and tribulations, life's gonna throw just some wicked curveballs at you that you never thought you'd ever come in contact with. You know what I mean? So I am somebody that suffers from, I have severe anxiety, and I do
Same,
also have depression.
same.
Um, Mine's more of a seasonal one, I won't lie to you, because in the wintertime I can't go outside. But I'm somebody that I love to just photosynthesize in the sun. Like, if I go out and I get my 10 minutes in the sun and I, let that chlorophyll in my brain, I feel
Mm-hmm.
so much better. Feel so much better. But yeah, a big thing for me is to remember that you're not really alone. I think a lot of streamers use games, and like gamers in general use games as an escapism method. And I know I did, going
So do
through
I.
a really rough breakup at the time. I was really hardcore into GTA RP. I was at like 12 hours a day in Grand Theft Auto roleplay, playing as a character that's this like internet gangster. You know what I mean? Like, but I loved it, and I would play. That's how I knew that I had a problem at the time, because I was playing it off stream. I don't game off stream. That's a big thing for me. I don't play video games off stream because this is my job, and I don't want to feel like I have to work and then I get to hang out later. You know what I mean? This should be my hangout time, really. Um, so I try not to blend those. And then if I do want to play games, I can, but mainly I try not to game off streams, and they do it so much on stream. And I was marking up 12-hour days, 13-hour days, getting like 5 hours of sleep maybe a night. Like, I would be up until 4 a.m. playing these games like as an escapism method. And I didn't realize it at the time. But that was like I was trying to feel something that I wasn't getting in real life. Um, and I kind of slowly started to realize that, and that's when I reached out to friends, therapist. Therapy is a beautiful thing. I've gone to
Yes.
therapy for 3 years now. I go when I feel like I need it now, but more or less, I was going twice a week for a long time, to handle my anxiety, my depression, and yeah, it's helped me immensely to kind of realize to I am very compartmentalizing of a person. Like, everything has a box in my brain, and when something doesn't have a box and I don't know where to put it, it really bugs me. So like all these emotions of like, I moved down to Texas to be, around more people in the space. My family's all at home. I had no friends really down here. So it was just a hard mental battle because I was constantly alone in a place with no friends or family really. I was learning how to deal with that, and then also, sorry if you can hear my dog crying.
No, you're
I
totally
was
fine.
also just trying to figure out how to enjoy, you know, my time by myself because I do love being alone, but also being okay with reaching out to friends and finding friends in my area. Nala, I know, baby. And that's another thing. She's been amazing. I got her about 3 years ago, or 2 years ago. She's 3 now. And she is just the absolute love of my life, like my soul animal, truly. She's helped me with, I used to have really bad panic attacks, but she like gives me something to take care of. Like I have something to take care of. Man.
I feel that completely because like I have Joplin, I have my kitty, and like Joplin's been like the biggest sweetheart. Like she literally, like, you'll see me look down or look off to the side, she'll be running around my feet. She will never let me pick her up. So in the rare moment that I pick her up and like Chat gets to see her, they're like, oh my god, she's so adorable. But no, like I agree, like having that ability to take care of something is such a huge boost to like the mental health. And like I feel like a
100%.
lot of streamers, like it's just a very lonely space, even though we have all of chat here, because we can't
Yeah,
actually physically see face to face like you guys. We just see your chat messages.
100%.
Like we know you're real people, we know you're amazing, we know you're awesome, but like we're sitting here, we're talking to technology.
No.
Like a lot of people would think that we're insane because I mean half of us are, but I digress. But um,
Oh.
it's yeah, I saw your camera froze for a second, but um it's a like genuine thing that a lot of streamers deal with a whole bunch of mental health things, and therapy is so amazing. It's a huge thing. It helps me with my anxiety and my depression. It helps me with everything that I go through. Like it's a huge thing. I highly recommend it, and especially if you're going to put yourself open and into public, like in the IRL world, I feel like that's something you definitely need to focus on.
100%. I will say this. I watch a lot of podcasts too myself. I love watching different point of views of people and like learning how other people's brains work because mine is so weird.
Same here.
But somebody did say that it's the loneliest generation. We have the loneliest generation.
Yes, we do.
And it's not just because of the internet. It's because COVID really just messed our generation up.
Yes,
I
it
feel like
did.
after COVID, a lot of people didn't know what to do. Like you're stuck inside. Like what do we do with that? And years of our lives were taken from that. Like truly, I it sucks because I turned 21 peak COVID. I had plans. I had so many plans. We were gonna go to Vegas. We were gonna do all this stuff. All just plans dashed because we just didn't have the option to do that. You know what I mean? So but yeah, we truly do have the loneliest generation. I think the internet helps for sure, and live streaming and like being able to talk to people daily is definitely a blessing. But I think that's why I've been pushing myself to do IRL so very much is because I just need to feel a connection with people. I just need to have like one-on-one conversations with people and in any way possible, just because we are social creatures at the end of the day. So
Definitely agree.
yeah.
So IRL is a really cool thing, a really awesome thing, and there's so many like things about it. Like, but there's a lot of dangers behind the IRL scene, and I kind of want to talk about that a bit. So,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on like someone randomly like finding your stream and then finding out where you are and like coming up like how do you handle stuff like that, or have you handled something like
Yeah.
that?
I mean, yes, doxing is something that's unfortunately super, super common in the
Mm-hmm.
space. It's scary. Um, Definitely a fear I think every streamer has. Any streamer that's growing even rapidly or just in general should always contact their local PD non-emergency number and let them know what they do. Because people that dox people don't care. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They just want to see a reaction. So I always tell people always let your local PD know what you're doing, that you have a file. So if anything, heaven forbid, did happen, you are covered and you've covered your bases. The IRL stuff is something that I'm pretty new to, and it is pretty scary for sure. We did a recent stream at the zoo, and this is so silly. I'm terrified of children. I'm so
Oh,
scared of kids.
you're so
And
adorable.
no, they're not. They're just little. Oh my gosh, one of my best friends is a teacher, and
Hmm.
they are the most savage little kids. Like they'll make you cry. And I'm so terrified of a 5-year-old just like coming up to me and saying some out of pocket shit, and I'm just gonna be like, because like, what am I gonna do at my big age of 25? I'm not gonna tell this child to go f himself. This is a child. So I'm
Right.
always so scared. I'm like, these kids grow up on the internet. They hear the most crazy shit, and being at the zoo, I never realized kids are drawn like a moth to flame when they see a camera held in the air. And like we were being followed around by they were probably high schoolers, middle
Hmm.
school, high school range. And like, they were talking, they were trying to get on camera. And the funniest thing is when we put them on camera, they turn around, they go, "Hi chat," and then they just freeze. Because they don't know what to do.
Because they're not
And
used to
it's
being in
so
front of
like,
the camera. So
but they beg and beg and beg to be on stream, and then they're just like,
yeah,
nothing. I'm like, okay, do something. If you wanted this attention, you got to do something now. But yeah, that was something that was weird. I have never been followed around before on stream. But it's a danger that unfortunately a lot of women have to deal with all the time. We're always, there's always a creepy guy somewhere.
it's
So
an
it's something that a
unfortunate
lot of
part of the
people deal with.
world. Like streaming is
Yeah,
so
for sure.
weird because you deal with parasocial relationships constantly. And I don't like saying that like it's a big thing and everyone deals with parasocial relationships, but like the parasocial aspect is such a big thing that we have to be aware of and like kind of understand.
Yeah.
Like people think that just because they gift you 1,500 subs that like that they bought you. And I'm like, it's
Yes.
such a creepy
Yes.
thing to, and I don't want to diss people who gift. Like I love you gift, you're amazing. I don't stream for money. I don't stream for people gifting me things, so don't do that. I stream because
Yeah.
I have a passion about content in
100%.
general, and that's why I want to do podcast stuff and play COD on the side and like be known for like my podcast and stuff like that. But like it's when you gift things, you're not buying your streamer. You're
Right.
100% not. You're supporting them. You're wanting to see them be successful, and there should be like an understanding of what you want to gift them because you enjoy them. So
Exactly. I try to tell people, if you enjoy my content, there's different avenues of support. You can
right,
follow and just hang out with me, and that's just enough too. Like you're giving me time. Time is something you'll never get back, and I appreciate that more than people probably know. But if you do want to take it a step further, any subs are so appreciated. Like it keeps me doing what I love to do, and it keeps me doing, this kind of content if you guys are enjoying it. Like for instance, with my stream at the moment, I'm doing like a 24-hour. I took a nap, but 24
hey,
hour.
W
And
you for that. Like shout out to Shorty Pie on
I
that.
I just can't I just can't do the long hours anymore. I gotta nap a little bit.
Oh, it's
But
important.
yes, but it's been really insane, and I make a huge ask, and then never ever do I ever think I'm gonna hit these huge goals. I just throw them out there, and if it happens, great. If not, that's also great. I tell my chat, please don't feel obligated. You don't have to, but if you're enjoying the content, you want to see me go longer. We hit 300 subs within 24 hours. We're gonna go uncapped. I'm gonna add another 24 hours on, and every sub's gonna add more time. So it's like you give and you get for sure. The
Yes.
parasocial aspect is definitely something that I think a lot of, especially women, female streamers feel a lot. I feel like women connect with people easier than, oh, sorry. I also have my alerts on. I forgot. Oh, goodness.
You're okay. I can't hear them on my end, but
Oh,
W
scared
gifted.
me. Thank you guys. But yeah, I try to let everybody know, I appreciate the support, but you only know the part of me that I put out on the internet. You know, you don't
True.
really know me. And I have to have safety walls up. Like, I don't talk about relationships. I don't talk about, there's just certain things that I have to have my privacy on because my entire life's on the internet. You know,
Mhm.
I'm never going to tell people where I'm at. I'm never going to tell people what I'm doing today. I'm never going to tell people like I'm going here, here, and here just because I don't know you at the end of the day, like truly. And as much as we hang out and we play games, it gets I've had it bite me in the butt where I've trusted these people and then all of a sudden you just don't know them truly until, you know, something happens and you're like, oh my God, the signs were there. I'm just silly. I just didn't see it. But um that parasocial, I think for sure, a lot of female streamers I know deal with it a lot where people give subs and they're like, okay, well now you have to message me in Discord. I'm like,
It's like,
I don't have to
no.
do anything.
Yeah, you don't
I
have to
don't
do
have to do
anything. You're your
anything.
own person.
Exactly. And then
Mhm.
I shouldn't feel bad because I'm not catering to anybody but myself. And that was something I took me a long, long time to understand because, you know, I'm a people pleaser at heart. Like truly, I love seeing other people happy. And if I can make them happy, I'm gonna do whatever I can to do that, right? But I had to tell my people pleaser in me, like, hey, this isn't healthy. They're using you. And you gotta realize at some point it becomes toxic.
Yes.
So that's when I really started to be pretty hardcore about my boundaries. Like this is where my boundaries are. And you know, what you see on stream is what you get. And if you don't like it, there's a billion other streamers out there, you know.
Absolutely.
That's how I see it.
And it's an unfortunate truth of the streaming world that parasocial relationships definitely occur. But like we do have to have those boundaries and for the best thing that we can and like to be able to protect ourselves, to be able to be ourselves. And like there's a lot of great that comes with IRL streaming. I know we talked or not just IRL, just streaming in general. But like I know we talked about like some of the bad stuff, some of the dangers, and like what is something that you wish you knew when you started streaming that you would be ready for some of the positive things that are happening like right now for you?
Well, one of the positive things that just happened is we just hit 300. So I'm gonna have to add
W300, let's
20 more.
go!
I'm so sorry. So everything you were saying, it was just, oh my God, it was just covered up by a giant, giant emote. I do apologize.
No, you're
Holy
okay.
cow.
That
Oh my
I
God.
am I'm the type of person I love celebrating people's successes and welcome to another 24 hours, massive W.
Here we
And
go.
is that 300 in one single day?
In one single day in 24 hours.
All right, that's
Holy
absolutely
cannolis.
wild. Like that's amazing. That's a W and deserved, but that's
Yes.
a W.
Oh my. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I am so sorry though.
No, you're okay.
I will say thank you and everything after the podcast, guys. Thank you guys so much. But we're gonna continue with this podcast because we gotta
No,
the show must go on. So I do apologize.
by
Please
all
restate what you
means.
told me.
So,
Oh my goodness.
we wanted to talk about like the positives, something that you wish you knew when you started streaming that would help you with your growth, that would help you with who you are, which would, you know,
Something that helped me. I would say I had a really great support system at home. My parents didn't really understand it at first. They were confused. They didn't really know what streaming was. For a long time, I think they thought that I was doing something I wasn't supposed to, you know, like because I'm just getting on the internet and I'm like, oh, until I explain, I play games for a living because all I did was
mm-hmm.
that I would tell them, oh, I just talk to people online. And they're like, what the heck do you mean you talk to people online? But my parents watch my streams. Once they realized that I could make a career out of it, they are very supportive. And I think having a really good, solid support system, I've been so blessed. My parents are so, so good to me. And they just absolutely, you know, in every way push me to be a better version of myself over and over and over again. So definitely, I didn't realize it at the time, but having that as a support system really pushed me to be able to do and have the confidence to do what I do every day, for sure.
And that's amazing. Like having that support system to like back you is so huge. And like I don't want to say I don't have that, but like my family's not as involved in my current content, but like that's a huge thing to like have that support background, to have the friends that you have, to like be able to do what you're
100%.
doing. And like something that I wish
Absolutely.
I knew when I started streaming was don't worry about the numbers, just have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers are going to kill your mental. For the longest time, especially on Twitch, where the growth is stagnant and it's so oversaturated no matter what games you play.
hmm
Um, I would turn my numbers off. I would turn my viewership off. I would turn because on Streamlabs you can just press the button and you don't have it up.
Yeah. And
And
I do the
like
same thing with Kick
I
and
would
Twitch too.
Twitch and Kick nowadays I don't really mind it too much. I like seeing the analytics because now with KCIP and like the partner income, I
hmm
like to try and guess. I like to guesstimate.
I
I'm
like
like,
it after
okay,
the
so I did.
streams.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. You should always look at your analytics at the end. But if it's starting to affect your mental, if you're having a low day, don't let that stop you. Like I spoke at a scholarship award ceremony yesterday, and
Oh,
tournament
cool.
for kids going into esports and being competitive in esports. And it
W
was super
Esports.
awesome. I absolutely loved it. I wish it was something that was when I was in school because I would have gotten a scholarship for this. Okay, like this.
It's so great.
And and I'm so happy to see kids nowadays, though, being able to use scholarship money that they earn through these tournaments and then like stuff like that and being pushed towards schooling. So that they can go to school to be something like an IT guy or a dev or something like that. Like these kids are so talented and they're so exposed to it from such a young age that it's amazing. And I always try to tell them like when I was speaking, they were asking questions about like how do you even get started? And I'm like, you just gotta go live. As silly as that sounds, going live, pressing that go live button is sometimes the hardest thing for me to do. Where I'm just
Yes.
like, oh, I really don't feel like I can do it today. Like my energy levels aren't there. Like I'll come up with a billion excuses and then I'll just like my mantra that I tell myself is 5 seconds of bravery. Give yourself 5 seconds of bravery and you can do anything. You just gotta do it. And that's what I tell myself. You'll hear it if like before I went on stage, like I was telling myself that I sound like a crazy person. But like stuff like that helps me to like, okay, this isn't if the zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow, okay?
hmm
This is minute, okay? I will be fine. I can survive in the zombie apocalypse, knowing that I did this, you know? So that's what I try to tell people, just to go live, even if it's the hardest thing on earth. Seriously, it's worth it in the end. You just enjoy it and have fun. Be yourself.
Do
All the little positive things.
do you have any advice for somebody on what they should do before they go live for the first time? And now my reason why I asked this is because a lot of people,
Oh,
they
first
think that
time.
they can just hit the go live button and then instantly grow 1.5 million followers and then be paid like Mr. Beast. Like, do you have any
Oh,
like suggestions for those
yeah.
people? Like, should you make content? Should you like think of like what is your thoughts on that?
I if you're gonna go live for the first time, I would say honestly, it starts before you even go live. You gotta start growing your other socials. Even on Kick, it is so hard to grow. Period. Just in general, if you have nothing for people to follow you over from another platform on, it's damn near impossible to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Content is always evolving, so growing a TikTok, growing a YouTube, growing a Twitter, growing an Instagram, it's gonna help you more than you know. Um, I came into the streaming space with already a little bit of a following on Instagram and Twitter from my design work. And I had a lot of people come in and be like, hey, I loved your designs. I used to only stream designs. That was another thing. I would stream just designing because my laptop couldn't handle me playing games on it at the time. And like I said, MacBook Pro streams. It was rough.
W MacBook
Um,
slow. I
yeah,
have the utmost
they
respect for
did
MacBook
its job.
people. hmm
It does its job for sure. But yeah, going from that, I would say just like try and grow your other platforms and go live. So as much as like yes, you could have like your like I say like your game day, get ready with me. I put my makeup on, making sure the lighting's good,
Note to
making
self:
sure my
get ready
alerts are
with me. Put my
working.
makeup on.
Yes, put a little bit, just like a little powder, a little whatever.
Yep.
But I would say, yeah, just trying to make sure that you have something solid to stand on that isn't just your streams.
Yes.
Because while streams do pay well for people that want to do this forever, like they're full time, having multiple sources of income is like your best friend, and truly, that's where your money is going to come from.
And
when you want to do this for a full time.
That's such a huge point. And like honestly, like with me, a little bit with my backstory on this, like I have the mentality, a very weird mentality when it comes to this, but I'm a small creator. I know I'm a small creator, and people keep telling me, don't use that lingo. I'm like, no, I have to, because it motivates me to start doing more things. But anyways, I've been streaming for 3.5 years, right? And I haven't seen substantial growth on any platform besides for Snapchat. For whatever the reason is,
Really?
yeah, my Snapchat
That's the one I
spotlight,
can't get into.
my Snapchat spotlight exploded last year, and it was
Wow.
ridiculous. Like, but when my advice to anybody before going live for the first time is create that content and post it to everywhere. Snapchat,
Yes.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch stories, Clapper. Like, you could be known as the next big Clapper streamer. Not that anyone knows who Clapper is or cares, but
Never heard of Clapper my entire life, but
It's like-
that
it's
sounds
like-
interesting.
but like you could post it everywhere. Let yourself be known and be consistent when you post too. Get yourself like a month's worth of content, like 30 days worth of content, and then post it that way. Like some people get their content from Twitch clips or Kick clips, Some people get it from like just dancing. Some people get it playing
Yeah.
Call of Duty and being badass, Like it's
Mhm.
get your content, edit your content, get it beforehand, post
Absolutely.
consistently, and then hit that go live button. So
Yeah, that 100%. And I agree and I disagree with the whole small streamer thing, because I think a small like once you put yourself in that box, it's hard to get out of. For a long time,
true.
I still classify myself as a smaller streamer. I'm not a Ludwig. I'm not, a Hassan. I'm not a Pokimane, and I know that. But you still have to give yourself your flowers. If you have
Yes.
more than 10 viewers on any platform, you're in the top 1%.
Yes.
Just point blank period. You are in the top 1% of streamers.
More people
And
need to know that too.
Yes, and I wish people gave themselves their flowers for that, because you got to look at it like this, and this is how I try my best to see my viewership. 10 people is a room full of people.
Bingo.
30 people is a classroom. 100 people is an auditorium.
Yes.
Like you really have to give yourself your flowers on that. And you might not be Pokimane. You might not be the next Valkyrie, but you have a group of people that are willing to spend their time with you. And you really got to just like look at these people as people, not just a number. So while you have, 15 people, that's an entire room full of people with their audience and their eyes on you. So
Let her
make it
cook,
good.
chat. Let her cook, chat.
That's how I see it. That's just how I see it, and I really wish people would give themselves their flowers for that. Because don't call yourself a small streamer when you're in the top 1%. You know what I mean?
True.
Give yourself the flowers that you deserve for that.
And I agree with that a lot, because a lot of people don't see like the work that goes behind it. Like even getting to the affiliate ship, you're in the top 10% of streamers. Well, now that Twitch changed that, you're actually in the top 50 versus the top 10. And that's a whole different story, a whole different analytics type thing. That like you gotta understand how each platform's algorithm works and where things are, so that you can give yourself those flowers. And like for me, I don't care if I'm streaming in front of 0 people or 1 million people. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna be the same person. You're gonna get the same perk, and I feel like it's gonna be the same with you. Like if you're streaming in front of 0 or 1 million people, you'll be the same shorty pie. Like. And I think that's really dope. But I agree. Give yourself those flowers. Reap the accomplishments. Enjoy that. And network properly.
Yes. Networking in this is so important. And I feel like sometimes people misconstrue networking with having friends with everybody. You don't have to
Yeah.
be friends with everybody. You don't have to build this massive relationship with everybody.
We
But
haven't
if you want
actually
to have
spoken minus one time, just saying that.
Mhm.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
You can build a rapport with people and you can reach out. As scary as it is, I have this fear sometimes of reaching out to like engage and like play with people or like bring them on my stream and stuff because I don't want it to ever feel like I'm using someone. But I also do see we are streamers. We need to engage with each other because that's what people like to see. They like to see their two favorite streamers hang out.
Yep.
And when that isn't normally a thing, you know what I mean? Like, and you could make that happen. You just have to be brave enough to reach out, which is what I'm working on at my big age of 25. I'm still struggling to make friends. Like,
Hey, I'm
hey, would
32
you
and
want
I
to
still
play?
struggle with it.
Like, hey, would you want to come play Fortnite with me, my friends? Like, that's so sad.
I
But
mean, if you ever need
also,
a
I
Fortnite
think
partner, hit me up. I'm terrible at it, but
I'm
it'll
really
be fun.
bad. I'm really, really bad. I literally only play for content. I usually play with Jess and Thong and Squilliam, and they carry me most of the time. So
Also, shout
it's a
out to
good
them.
time
They're
though.
really amazing people as well. If you guys don't
Oh
follow
my
their content,
gosh.
please go follow their content. Like, as somebody who consumes
Yes.
content to consume content, check them out. They're really amazing.
Yeah. Truly. They meeting them, I met them this past year really, and I've gotten close to them and they've opened my eyes to so much stuff and I've really just loved having their friendship. They're really, really great people.
Mm-hmm.
I love them a lot.
I haven't gotten
But
very
yeah.
close with like any of them from that perspective. Not saying that that's a bad thing, and
Mhm.
not saying that it might not happen, but I'm just saying that as a idea. But the way they put out content is really something cool in brains. I would 100% love to pick at some point because when
Mhm.
you're trying to put together content, there's a lot of different aspects of content. So
Mhm.
what type of content works for you and what type of content doesn't work that you found out through your streaming career?
So I like to say that anything that's engaging, I think my stream enjoys anything that they see that I'm enjoying. Because they've watched me play enough games like Valorant where I'm playing competitively and I'm not having fun. I think they just really want to see me enjoy things. So if I'm playing a game, and even if it's as stupid as we played a game called Placid Plastic Duck Simulator, and we played it for about 2 hours,
W.
and it's just you're just a plastic duck. You literally don't float and quack. And to me, that is the funniest thing on earth. I'm just a little it's a simulator of a plastic duck and I'm playing this as a human being for hours and it's so stupid and so silly. But here we are. I really do think that they just want to see me enjoy things. And some things that I know personally does not work for my channel and that I don't think I'll ever incorporate is like gambling. I'm not a gambler. I have never really been one that has a lot of money to gamble, so I've never got into it. And my stream, I don't think would enjoy watching me gamble because number one, I don't know how to do it, and number two, I'm bad, and it's gonna inevitably. I also don't want to push a stereotype of like, oh, I win big every time because I don't. I will never win, and that's just the thing. Even going to like WinStar and like big casinos, I've never won anything. So like,
I'm also
I just
terrible
know
at gambling.
that type of content just does not work for me, and that's okay. But like IRL stuff, I've realized people really enjoy watching me and Meg and Lex just hang out and like just have girl time. Like it's so fun. And then like even just gaming, I've recently stepped away from all sorts of multiplayer games.
Mm-hmm.
I played Marvel Rivals for the first time in actually 2 months, which was crazy. I just haven't done it. I've been playing nothing but story games. I challenged myself in the month of April to do nothing but story games. So I played The Last of Us Part Two, which was a roller coaster. Let me tell you, I'm not over that. And then also just playing like gosh, chat. What else did we play? I can't get over that game, so I can't even remember what else we played. But we played only story games for a long time, and it was amazing. I have a whole Assassin's Creed Shadows. Um,
That's a great game.
two amazing video games that I just like I would have never played. You know, I would have never sat down because I'm very much somebody that I need to have constant action. So I've been challenging myself to in my community to sit down with me and like play a game that isn't something that's high energy, that isn't something that I'm doing constantly. And I've been loving it, truly. I really have been. It's been something that's pushed me out of my comfort zone and um, made me want to play different story games. Like, it's all I really crave to play because I don't even want to play Rivals or anything like that anymore. I just really enjoy spending time with chat, just me and chat. And that was excuse me, another big thing was being able to engage with my chat on my own. Like, I don't need
Yes.
anybody to game with, which was something I struggled with for a long time. Because if I'm gonna play games, my whole thing was like I want to play with people. But now I'm like I can do it on my own. I can entertain chat by myself, and I can do that. So that's been something that I've been really, really loving.
And that's
So
also a really big point that you bring up is being engaging with your chat. Obviously, like within my podcast, you're going to see a little symbol right here, where it says, "Hey, we
mhm.
see your comments. Like, we appreciate you, but we might not respond because it's a podcast." Like, I see every single
Exactly.
comment. I have 4 chats at the same time. I'm a
Right.
drummer, tech nerd. I see everything. I am a gamer. I
Mhm.
literally see all 4 of my chats. I even see my TikTok chat if it's up. Like, I will always see your comment. I will always try to respond whenever I'm doing gaming stuff. So, but paying attention to the
Mhm.
chat is so important as a streamer. But moving on from
Right.
just that, a lot of newer streamers or aspiring content creators, they struggle to find their niche. What is your message to those streamers that are trying to find their niche?
Um, a niche works for some people.
Uh-huh.
Don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a box though. For a big thing that I did that I realized was very, very bad was on Twitch when I first started streaming. I only played Fortnite. So when I didn't play Fortnite, my viewership tanked. So from like 80 to 90 viewers to just 10. Don't put yourself in a box. Be a variety. Do something that you know you're gonna enjoy in 2 months. You know what I mean? Um, I would say tell people that, and if you do find a niche, like your favorite game is GTA RP, send it. Like
Yes.
really do. You can send it, but don't put yourself in the box of this is the only game I play, and you got to kind of just maneuver so that you're not forcing up walls and then when people are like hey you should play blah blah blah, I would really love to see you play that, and you shoot it down, they're not like oh like this is all he plays, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to do something like that, but enjoy what you do. Just make sure that it's variety enough that other people are going to find you too. So like don't make it so niche that nobody can find you, and don't make it so niche that you can't get out of it. Find that happy medium and ride it. So I always say do a variety and just kind of just bounce all over. My whole shtick is that I rage at games because I do. I get so angry at these stupid video games and stupid pixels on my screen. But I think that you can use different games to your advantage when your personality is kind of your niche.
I,
For
I
sure.
I could not agree with that more. And like it's really cool to like kind of see. And like for me, I played COD, the most oversaturated content creation game that
Yeah.
exists. I
Yeah.
played COD. I built a community on COD, but like typically
Mhm.
like my streams are like my chat doesn't necessarily move because most of the people are trying to stream snipe me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know what they get from it. But
Well, yeah. That's a huge problem with a lot of games. Like specifically GTRP, I would play in
Mhm.
cities where they would watch, so like it's very competitive and we're in a zone and like they can see where I'm at and they can shoot me through the walls. You know what I mean? So it's like I really did give myself the biggest disadvantage of just I would kind of just deal with the stream snipers. So like my viewership would jump 40 viewers because they're watching me to figure out where my team is. And it's just unfortunate. Oh, I hated the stream snipers. It's a big reason why I don't stream GTA anymore. GTA RP specifically because if I am in a competitive situation, people will stream snipe and it does ruin it for other people. So kind of in this weird lull of like, do I continue to stream even though I enjoy it? Or do I care about other people's RP and I want them to enjoy their RP and like not have to worry about getting stream sniped constantly. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of battle I'm fighting at the moment, trying to figure that out personally.
But it's also, it's fun in a way when it comes to that type of stuff. It's genuinely fun because like even like for me, like when we go back to talking about niches, like trying to do a Call of Duty niche is next to impossible. Unless you stand out,
like
unless you stand
like Sarge,
out.
I would say
Mhm.
when my brain goes to like Call of Duty creator, I think Sergeant Jackson, and then just like I
He's
don't
so
know why,
dope.
but he like radiates Call of Duty energy.
Well, I mean, he wears
Impossible.
a vest.
The whole vest.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Shotgun beers and got American flags everywhere. Like that man is America at its finest. You know what I mean? So
Oh, for sure.
I like if you got a niche, write it. Especially with COD. Yeah.
With me, I'm
Mhm.
kind of discovering my niche is podcasting, and I only recently discovered that about a month ago. So I discovered
Yeah.
that my niche is podcasting because what I do is I'm able to feed off of the person's energy and like feed off of the passion that's there. So
100%. You're very good at it. I will
oh,
say, I love
thank
going
you.
on a podcast where a person has passion and they come prepared. Because I've gone on so many podcasts where they're like, "So what's up?" I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
nothing. I don't. I assumed we were gonna have a conversation, but I don't. I didn't prepare anything. Like,
Well, I mean,
it's just I can appreciate it.
it's about like, well, I mean, it's not just about me. Like when I'm on the podcast, it's not me. It's about talking with you. It's about picking your brain. It's about understanding what's going on. So going back to the IRL content thing, um, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start IRL content but is nervous about putting themselves out there in the open?
Oh, it's the hardest like genre to be scared to put yourself out there because you're literally putting yourself out there. I would say start small. The big things are protecting your safety. So avoid road signs, don't stream from your home, like outside your home, don't show your address. Just the basic common, especially if you're really nervous about safety. Um, don't tell people where you're at. You can say, "Oh, we're at a zoo," but don't tell them what zoo. You know what I mean? So
Stream
like
delay.
yeah, a stream delay is great. Some people are with it, some people are against it. I find that if I have a stream delay, I don't talk to chat as much. So I personally
That's
don't
also
really do
valid.
a big stream delay. But just being, realizing that you're putting yourself out there for criticism, especially in real life, people are going to come up to you. They are going to ask you what you're doing. And always, my big thing and what the girls and I do to make sure is like we always ask prior. So like my friend Lissa Soros or
She is amazing. W list.
she's awesome. Love her so much.
I love her
Her and
so
Omni
much.
are absolutely just like the cutest. Yes.
Mhm.
And Manda and then
Yes.
me and the girls with Lex and Meg, we try to always ask to make sure we're okay to stream places or it is public enough that we're not going to bother anybody. You know what I mean? I would say just making a spectacle of yourself. Unfortunately, in IRL streaming, that's just what it is. You're a person with a camera on a tripod walking around talking to yourself. You look crazy. We are crazy. But I think that as long as you take the proper precautions of protecting yourself. Oh my goodness, sorry, she's just barking. And making
You're
sure
okay.
that everybody she's just crying because she wants attention.
She's excited.
But she is. I could let her in here in a second, but
No, we
yeah,
love
making sure that
puppies.
you're safe and like constantly looking out, for yourself. That's the biggest thing you can do. Here, I'm gonna let her in because she's gonna keep crying if I don't. Come here, Stinky.
No, and that's valid. We love animals in this stream, and like safety is so important when it comes to IRL content. Like safety is so important. Oh, let's just touch the puppers.
There she is.
There's the puppy's
Big
adorable.
Stangerbug.
But
Big Stangerbug over here.
safety is so important with IRL stuff. It's being able to like communicate with the people that you're like collaborating with. being able to
100%.
like plan things in advance. Like if this happens, what do we do? If that happens, how do we handle it? But
Yeah.
also that stuff comes from experience. So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like I said, just like the basics of like protecting yourself as a streamer, especially against stuff like as scary as it is to talk about, like swatting, doxing, always like contacting your local PD, letting them know again what you do so that people they know, and it's not going to be they're not going to make a scene which is going to inevitably make it worse. You know what I mean? So there's just so many precautions you can take and just to take those, especially if you're worried about your privacy and everything.
of course.
But yeah.
So what is a cool or touching story in regards to like community interaction that happens in your IRL streams? Or that
Oh,
you've had happen in your IRL streams?
community. I wish I had streamed at DreamHack. I think that would have been where I could have like been IRL and like casually met someone that was in a healthy way. But I
Mm-hmm.
will say we did have a bit of like we went to a bowling place the other day with Liz and Manda, and it was really fun. The staff at this place were really sweet. They were, they weren't being like, "Oh, don't stream," Some places are like that, and that's totally fine. But afterwards, one of the managers approached us. She's like, "Hey, I used to stream on Twitch. What do you guys do on Twitch? Are you guys like on, whatever?" And I explained, "Oh, I'm on Kick actually, but here's my social." She's like, "Wow, you're literally living my dream." And this is like off stream. This is like after we
Uh-huh.
cut the cameras. And I was like, "Oh my God." Like it was just she's like, "Well, you got another follower. I can't wait to watch one of your streams." I, like, oh my God, just you don't know me
That's
from Adam.
amazing.
You don't know what kind of content I make. Like it was just touching. I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah, I used to stream a lot, and I just life got in the way. And I kind of tried to give her the same advice that I'm giving you. Is just like just go live. If you can even go live for a couple hours a night, just do it. Even if it's stressful and like if you need just a time to like hang out with friends, like use this as a time. And trust me, it will benefit in the future. So
It's
yeah,
so
that was a pretty
it's
touching. Oh, my heart.
it's so amazing to experience stuff like that and to see people like just be like genuinely interested in your art and your craft and stuff like that. It's one of the most amazing experiences. With me, the most amazing thing that's happened, not necessarily community, was actually this past DreamHack. It wasn't even at the convention, it was at an after party.
Mhm.
Someone came up to me like, so little backstory. I was actually went into DreamHack thinking, all right, this is gonna be my last hurrah. I'm gonna have fun. I'm just gonna enjoy the streaming space,
Right.
gaming space one last time. Then I'm gonna stop content because I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
Until someone pretty much came up to me, big streamer, but I'm not gonna say the name out of respect. But they came up to me and they're like, I love what you do, and genuinely, I
Mhm.
love your content, and I know that you're not seen and you're not yet, but you're genuinely good at what you do, and I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Mhm.
And for
Oh,
someone that in that space were as big as they were to be able to come up to me and say that, um, genuinely it was like one of the most touching experiences I've ever had. It's awesome.
yeah,
It's
for sure.
really, really cool to have people like to be seen in that type of light. It's something that's different that a lot of people don't see. So even
Yeah,
if you think people aren't seeing you, this is my message because of that. Even if you think your content isn't being seen, it is. It 100% is. You
it
never
is.
know who's in your chat.
Yeah.
Like it,
Truly.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a huge thing. Like I try to tell everybody that, especially like a lot of my friends and my viewers and my mods and everybody in my community tries to do streaming and stuff, and I just tell them I'm like, keep at it. Even
Yep.
if you have those really rough nights, like you're gonna make someone's night. Like you gotta realize that. Like, and that is something that like blew my mind was like people will message in my Discord be like, when are you live? Like we want to watch you. When are you going live? And that is to
Yeah.
me is like I'm always late. So they do this all the time. But I'm like, I'm coming, don't worry. But like people wait for me to go live. And that's something that just like it hit me not too long ago actually. Like the other day it really hit me and I was like, I feel like a TV show. Like, people wait to watch their episode of House
It
of the
is a
Dragon.
TV show.
I'm somebody's House of the Dragon, and that's crazy to me because I wait for that show. So it just it makes it really is a great feeling, and feeling validated by people that are bigger than you in the space it's crazy. I feel like
Yes.
Kick has been a lot of people on Kick are very like, we know each other. Like, even if we don't know each other well, we know of each other. So, I don't know. I feel like so many people gassed me up at DreamHack. I had like Santa Maria and like, like just a bunch of huge people at Kick. They're like, you're doing great.
You
And
are.
that to me was, with the luminosity stuff and then all that, it's just been such a weird whirlwind of emotions because, I feel like I've worked hard, but I also could work so much harder. So I'm somebody that's like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? So
Genuinely, your
constantly on
content,
myself.
generally your content in the Luminosity stuff was incredible. Was so good.
Thank you so much.
And like when I
Thank
saw
you.
some of
It
those
was a lot
videos,
of
I'm like,
fun.
wow. It was so cool to see.
Yeah, just trying to push my boundaries on things and do new things because I've never edited videos. I never did any of that. And then learning how to do that for the competition was really fun.
And
Mama,
that's awesome.
I
That's
know
a
you're
dope
not
skill to
seeing me.
have. So, we've said this before. We've talked about this. 95% of what streamers do are stuff that you can't see. Stuff that the viewers
Yes.
don't see. So,
Mhm.
what is that 95%? What does it look like? For me, I want to touch on introspection because I think that a huge thing for streamers is to self-reflection, understanding themselves and growing from within yourself behind the scene. So what is your
100%.
thought?
Oh, I think a lot of it, like I said, is we've touched on mental health. I think a lot of it comes like down to that, especially when if you're especially a small streamer just starting out and you have to edit all your videos yourself, you have to record all your content yourself, you have to also manage a job, and if you have a family and kids, like you have to like there's so many aspects of it. I think that just juggling, so that mental health aspect on the behind the scenes stuff is huge. I also think that the 95%, like I said, is just all stuff that it's the not so fun stuff that will make the stuff that you put out fun to watch. So whether
Mhm.
that's a stream, whether that's YouTube videos, whether that's TikToks, like short form content is so big right now, and you have to do it so rapidly. It's such a high pace. It's hard to keep up with for sure. But I would say pushing yourself to that limit, and then like if you can surpass that and keep very positive mindset and like your goals aligned with everything, you're gonna be successful no matter what. It's just that consistency, and then making sure you're taking care of yourself, because a lot of people in this space
Yep.
don't do that,
Yeah,
and
I
they'll
agree
burn
there.
out.
I
Yeah,
100% agree
the
there.
burnout is so real.
Burnout is one of the most
So
difficult things to handle as a streamer, and it happens. Like I was burnt out before DreamHack. Well, I'm still technically burnt out, but we're not going to talk. That's what it is.
it's hard to break out of that mold unless you're really pushing yourself to be, I would say, try new things, because that definitely helps out with the burnout. But yeah, it's something that gets literally everybody. Nobody can escape it. Nobody's somehow immune to burnout, because it's something that everybody has to go through at least once, I think, as a creator, to really realize, oh shit, this is burnout. Like, I'm so exhausted and I can't even think of an idea that would be good for content right now.
Of course. And like, sorry, I'm my only mod and I just had to deal with something, but
No,
okay.
you're totally fine.
So yes, burnout is definitely something that streamers deal with. Like, for example, the person who's now in your chat that your mods just dealt with. But
You're good. They got it.
of course, your mods are awesome. But burnout is definitely
do
something that happens in IRL space, gaming space, like streaming space, just in general. And like that, when that stuff happens, like, what is your move to get you back into space? Do you take that step back? Do you take that step forward? Or do you just,
Mm.
what's your move?
I I used to just power through it,
Mm-hmm.
which to some people I thrive in work environments. Like if I have like something where I'm locked in, I can get shit done. Like that's my one thing. If I'm locked in, I got it. But if I'm at a point where nothing's sticking, I have no ideas, like my streams just aren't hitting right now, and it's not like they aren't hitting like viewership or monetarily. I'm not enjoying it. I'll tell chat, hey guys, I'm like really not in a good place right now in my mental, and they've come to understand that like if I need to take a step back, it's probably for the best. And they've been really great. Like I'm traveling a lot. This past month and this upcoming month, I'll be traveling quite a bit. Blessed to go to Cancun for my birthday, which is
W
crazy.
Cancun!
I never thought I'd be taking a birthday trip. Like that is crazy to me. I'm happy with medieval times. Girl, like that is like my favorite place on earth is medieval times. So that's what I'm used to. But we're going on a vacation. Me and my best friend are going on a vacation together, which I'm so excited.
Will
And
you
then
be streaming there?
I might if I have the service. I don't know how service works in other countries at the moment with IRL streaming. I gotta
For
kind
sure.
of figure that out. But once I figure that out, yeah, I probably will. I did one IRL stream when I was on vacation with my family this past week, the week before DreamHack. So yeah, I've just been traveling all over the place, and thankfully the vacation really gave me a reprieve from just the internet in general. I was really offline for a good majority of it, and just spending time with my family. My family's in St. Louis, so being down here in Texas, I barely see them. So the time that I can spend with my family, my chat knows very well, like I'm gonna choose my family over streaming. But if I do have some extra time, like I was getting ready, my family were taking a nap, but I was getting ready to go have dinner with them. So I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick stream. It's just gonna be me getting ready. The beach is behind me. It's beautiful. Like I think that's okay. But when it
I
comes to
agree.
like the family stuff, like I'm pretty hardcore about okay, I'm with my parents, like I'm gonna spend as much time with them as I can, and then I'll come back to stream when I'm sitting alone in my apartment again.
Family is so important, and people need to like
Mhm.
remember that, because like working or like just being with your family is so awesome. I'm actually taking a family trip next week, where
Oh,
we're
that's
we're
awesome.
going somewhere. I'm not going to say where, but
Mhm.
it's going to be really cool. I get to finally go to a beach, and I'm going to be taking an entire week
Oh,
off.
fun!
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, I love a beach. We went to Destin for our family vacation, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
white sandy beach. Oh my gosh, I love it. And my family's the type, like our vacation is very chill. Like we are just going to lay on the beach, be beach bums. Like we can go out
W
and do
Beach
fun
Bums.
stuff as well, but I am a beach bum for sure. I could spend an entire week on the beach and not get sick of it. But I know some people don't like the beach that much, but I love the ocean, I love the sound of it. And even just like I it's kind of weird. I'll sit there and I'll like basically meditate just listening to the waves. It's like ASMR in real life. It's just like really bringing that in and just like being in the moment is something that's super cool because we're so online all the time. It's just kind of nice to take in like a real moment from time to
Yes,
time.
it is really nice to
Mhm.
have those like breaks, and it ties back in with the whole mental health thing. You have to do that stuff for your
Mhm.
mental health and take those breaks, and it helps with burnout. Full circle. But
Yes, 100%.
going even more full circle, going back to the 95% that we were talking about, the stuff that you don't see offline. There's before
Mhm.
I got distracted. There was
No, you're good.
there is so much that we do as creators, and like um from setting up your own scenes, creation of new scenes, development of our own art, development of our own banners, the creation of our own Discord,
Mhm.
the networking that goes behind the scenes for next possible things and scenes. And like that
Mhm.
networking thing that we do in the background that we talked about being so important leads to dream collabs. So my question to
Yes.
you is, what would be or who would be your dream IRL collab?
IRL dream collab. Oh goodness. I'm so new to the space within IRL streaming that I don't
Sure.
really know a whole lot of IRL streamers.
Doesn't have to be just IRL. Who would be your dream collab?
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be so silly. Okay, my dream collab is somebody I've watched from when I was like a tot, dude. I was like middle school. Markiplier. Oh my god. That's my soul human. Like truly.
W.
We share the
Markiplier.
same birthday. I've watched him since I was like literally in like 3rd grade. I love that man. He is just everything that I embody and want to be. Is like his entire content. He loves playing spooky games. I am a spooky game girly. I like playing spooky games as much as my chat doesn't say they don't. I do. But I love him as a person. He's somebody that's so real, and he's not. He values his privacy. He's not one that's gonna go out of his way to be in drama. He's somebody I just genuinely look up to in this space, and he's somebody that's one of the most, if not the most successful YouTuber on like gaming sides of YouTube. Like
I
truly.
think the closest second, to that is Mr. Beast right now. But Markiplier is an absolute YouTube content gem.
For sure.
He's a W,
I have
guys.
a lot of thoughts for sure on Mr. Beast as well. I think his type of content has really shaped, I would say, a lot of YouTube, and definitely an interesting individual. I don't think he's bad by any means, but I do think that he's definitely molded a different type of content that's flashy. You know what I mean? And that's not personally the content that I consume. I don't personally watch Mr. Beast. I don't watch that kind of content. The glorification of millions of dollars and stuff as an incentive for growth is an interesting take for sure. But I just love the genuinity of what Markiplier is, and like his whole group is just awesome. They're just a group of friends making it work. So I love that. That's just me personally. So
and it's just cool to watch people like that, and like going into content and like trying to take that next step from just like regular day-to-day to professional content creation. You gotta pay attention to those bigger name platforms, those bigger name creators,
100%.
and like because those are the people who did it successfully. Those are the people that you might be able to add some of their ideas into your brand to help you grow. And we have to be sponges in the content creation space. We have to.
Yeah,
it's a huge 100%. Thing, but there is also a very fine line when it comes to content before we get into mimicry of content versus being in our own. So
yeah, content mimics are, oh my goodness, content thieves, as some say. I think people need to realize TikTok has made like content theft such a normal thing. I don't really see a problem if it's like a trend, if you're just doing a trend. But I have had people copy my content word for word of bigger names, and like, what am I gonna do? Call them out? Like they don't care. You know what I mean? So like, I think there's definitely a fine line between being inspired by and then just using. But I do think TikTok's really blurred the lines a lot because everything's a trend now. So it's kind of hard to kind of say, like, who started something. Something I noticed, which I feel like a content thief for, is I would watch blank core videos. And it's like a silly little goofy clip, and then it ends with that like TikTok brr sound. And it's like, with their name, it's blank core. And I saw that, I thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh my God. And I saw it was like huge streamers or like huge YouTubers and like creators. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. And I did it on Twitter. And then everybody started doing it on Twitter. I was like, okay, I started something. But no, it was super cool. And like, I saw Whittle did it. And I saw a Rec did it. And like a few others. And when people were going to, one thing I will say about Whittle Bears is that she gives people her flowers. And like, whenever people were like, oh my God, I did this trend because Whittle Bears. And then she'd be like, actually, Shorty started it. And this is what she did. And that to me, I was like, wow, massive massive respect there. Thank you.
Widow
Like, you didn't have to
Bears
do
is
that.
so genuine and awesome. I have the utmost respect for creators like that. I was actually
Mhm.
talking about Whittles yesterday with Meg, that like I appreciate like everything that she does. She's like a really genuine creator. It's like we
Mhm.
have to, as creators, like be those sponges where we pay attention to what other creators are doing, and if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But Littles definitely is super genuine and super awesome. It's always amazing to see people like that um
Mhm.
at DreamHack. So,
Yeah.
and just other
Yeah, for
conventions as
sure.
well. So,
Mhm.
wrapping things up here because I know it's been our hour and a half. Let what
Oh my
is
gosh, has it
your
really?
Yeah, I know
We
it's
just been
crazy, right?
yapping. We just
Yeah, that's what we do. We're yappers. Like really,
we're
ultimately, content
yappers.
create. It's the best thing.
Paid to
Um.
yap.
So, um, what flowers do you give yourself? And let's shout your channel out. Let's talk about
Oh.
your stuff. What do you want people to know when they know about Shorty Pie? And what
Oh, goodness.
suggestions do you have for those newer creators as a final wrap up if they want to get into the
Oh,
space?
goodness.
I know it's a huge question.
We'll start we'll start with everybody else before me because I have to think about that.
For sure.
I would say again, just be yourself and then grow your other platforms. It's hard to grow in a streaming space. Everybody wants to do this. At the end of the day, everybody wants to be where you're at right now. So really truly understand that, I would say. And then also, the consistency of uploading daily if you can. Making sure you got something for every day. And it doesn't even have to be a video upload every day. You don't have to post every day on TikTok or whatever or Instagram, but making sure that you're engaging with your audience and then like having a space that is yours. So like my Discord, I love my Discord. I'm in it all the time. Like it's become so active and like it's truly a hub. I go to my Discord before I go to Twitter. And that's crazy because I have a huge following on Twitter. Like I love my Twitter. Um, but really just making a space for your community and then cultivating it and making sure you're growing it and like trying your best to be as you want to engage with people, but again keeping your boundaries and making sure that you're safe at the end of the day is huge too. So just finding that healthy balance and then you know pushing yourself to stay consistent with streaming is a big thing. So try and do it daily. If you can't do it daily, do it 5 times a week. If you can't do it 5 times, at least 3. I would say those are my big things. And then just have fun. Have fun. Don't make it about money. I try to tell people that. I know Kick's whole thing is the 95-5 split, and that's great. It's awesome. Shout out to the 95-5 split. Love y'all. But I will say, don't go into streaming to make money. Do it because you enjoy doing it, and do it because you want to make friends and grow an audience. And like that's what you want to start off in. So that's what I would say to anybody starting off, and to not be discouraged by numbers because numbers will come and go. It's like money; it'll come and go. And some days you're going to be on top of the world, front page, thousands of viewers, and other days you're going to have 5 viewers, and
Yep.
that's just how it is. It's one or the other, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But take those advantages that they give you if you're on the front page. Weed through the trolls and try and talk to chat as much as possible. You'll never catch me on the front page not doing chatting. I will always be just chatting on the front page. That's just how I do it because if not, I'm not focusing on chat and I'm throwing away an opportunity to meet people. So that would be my best thing to offer.
Absolutely
Flowers for
agree.
myself.
Yes, I was gonna bring that back. Flowers for yourself. What do
Goodness,
you
I don't
want to be
even
known
know.
for, and what do you think people should know Shorty Pie for?
Oh goodness. I would say growth for sure. I always try to do better than the day before, and if that means just 5% better every day, just getting out of bed and making my bed, stuff like that, trying to show people that it is possible as somebody who suffers from severe, depression, anxiety, like, and sometimes things just feel genuinely impossible. Um, you can do it, even though like your entire body and your brain is telling you can't. You can. And then also just to choose positivity if you can. As much as the over positive stuff is shoved down our throats nowadays online, I would say it is worth it to be positive. Try your best to just always look as a positive outlook, because psychology states if you fake it, you're gonna make it, So even if you're not feeling the most positive, giving somebody a compliment could make their entire day. So
Yes.
trying to keep that positivity going. And then I'm a big karma girly, so I try my best. This is something I've adopted and really tried to push for. If I can put positivity out, it's going to come back to me. So that's all I try to do anymore. Push positive out, and then hopefully it comes back to me, So that's where I'm at with it.
And I respect the way that, like, you say that, because positivity is so important in this space, and genuinely love your content with what I've seen. I know I'm newer to your community. I know I'm definitely newer to your community. Because like we haven't even had a conversation. That's actually why I was shocked that you accepted the podcast invite, which I'm happy about, and thank you. But it's awesome to see someone like you do what you do, be genuine in a space, and just be awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Shorty Pie, please make sure you are. Go hop over to her chat. And I definitely thank you so much for coming on to this episode of the PSP Podcast. And if you want to do any IRL stuff, definitely hit her up, because I guarantee you she'll give you some amazing advice.
Thank you. Yes, that, and then also Power IRL for pushing our IRL stuff and like getting us to get there. So huge dubs for that. She's awesome. Oh, they're awesome. My friends are awesome. Everybody's awesome. But yeah.
Well, Shorty, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap everything up. Are you gonna still be streaming or no?
Yeah, we well, we're gonna be live for quite a bit longer than I anticipated today. So we got about 24 hours on top of the 5, and then every sub after is probably gonna be a good 2 to 3 minutes added to the clock. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Well, then I'll do the like kind of post wrap up after your 24-hour stream with everything. But I appreciate you coming on. Everyone have a wonderful night. I'm going to send my community over to you too.
Oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Of course, it was wonderful talking with you.
Yes, you as well.